to see what I would do. And it was just a little touchy. But, Bernard did come out, and they didn't do anything, and he found a back way out.
A lot don't change in the streets. Nobody's really encouraging you to go further and do better or whatever, But in the church, you got people in my church, my home church, where, it impacted my life. Those people, they were genuine. They really care. They really love you. They encourage you to go forward in God and in life. They speak life into you. So instead of death, like the streets.
Bernard is Bernard. Bernard used to be Sean before he left to go to New Zealand. He was Sean. He was still Sean. He was saved, loved God with all his heart, but he was still Sean.
Right.
Now, since he's been back from Liverpool and he's been working closer and closer with Pastor Richie, he's basically become Bernard.
The progressiveness of Bernard has been so consistent and persistent. None of the things that have happened with him have been surprising. It's almost like, well, God's doing his God thing. And Bernard has really been a blank canvas that we've seen God build, and being a global ministry, it was almost a natural progression of things.
My travels, I got blessed. I do Christian rap, so I had an opportunity to go to England for 2 weeks with my pastor. They had a Festival of Hope, a big event. So I was asked to be a part of that, and I was able to do Christian rap, and I went into a few different schools and things like that. So that was Liverpool, England. I went there for 2 weeks, and I met some people who were leaders of another mission organization and got hooked up with them. They had already known my pastors for years. So 3 weeks after I came back home from that trip to England, I went on another trip for 5 months. And we traveled through 10 different cities, went to New Zealand for 2 months, and it was just an awesome time in my life. God really impacted my life through that. Just to get out of the country and see something different, to see how other people live,
Bernard's future at this point looks very promising because after spending time with us and then graduating from high school, he spent some time with Youth with a Mission. And of course, we had to be involved with missions in the church. So it really blessed us to see him go out on the mission field with his training class. And that really had a big impact on his life, that he really now has given his life to ministry and to missions. And that's such a tremendous blessing because that's one of our priorities, to do missions, and to see him come back, trained now to be a missionary, to really give his life to ministry is really a tremendous blessing.
Every place on this earth you can think of, I can see him now. It can be the North Pole, South Pole, the middle of Ethiopia, anywhere on this earth. I can see him now, talking to people, connecting with people. I never seen anybody in my whole life that can be a black man who look and dress. It can connect with, I never seen it in my life. So I see him everywhere, talking to everybody. Just lead them to the Lord. That's what I see.
I probably didn't have anything to do with what he's doing now, but it's always says, God has a master plan for everybody. And if they ever just wake up and take a look at who they are and what is expected of them, and they adhere to God's commands, then you get Bernard, the one who made bad decisions, and now one who is going about the world, going in his communities and making a difference in people's life.
Today, Bernard, he's a pastor, cleaning the church, to picking up the paper, to organizing the service, to participating in the service, to what a pastor really does is taking care of the sheep, praying for them, going to their house, in his case, their school, their football games, they're taking them to buy a t-shirt to make sure they have the proper attire for the next event, taking them to lunch. What is Bernard doing? He's being Jesus. That's what it is.